Sharon Wagner. Oh, let me go over here. My name is Sharon Wagner. I'm a founder and CEO with Cloudyn. It's a new innovating technology that helps you manage, control, and optimize your cloud infrastructure. And let's start with your figures. In the last 1 year, the top 3 cloud vendors introduced 50 new cloud configurations, 15 new cloud services, and not even to forget the 15 times that Amazon Web Services cut their prices. Let's take a look at the nature of the applications in the cloud. They are all dynamic to scale out and scale in. In average, any organization that has an application in the cloud roll out a new version every second week, which includes new capacity requirement, new utilization requirement, and new usage requirements. Amazon itself, in their recent blog, mentioned that they have 1 billion new objects every day. An average 60,000 virtual servers are starting up and starting down every day. In a recent analysis that we did on our install base, we realized that 32% out of the compute services for our customers are underutilized. In all this chaos, let's talk about the CIO and let's talk about the CFO. The CFO is definitely losing control on his cost. The CIO is definitely unable to manage the consumption and the utilization of these cloud resources across his organization. And if we're looking at the developers who wants to plan their capacity and build their applications to the cloud, they're unable to plan their capacity. But all of them knows that they are over-provisioning in the cloud. Over-provisioning in the cloud means they are overpaying for their cloud resources. That's where we introduce Cloudyn. Cloudyn is a new technology that helps cloud customers to realize and leverage true cloud economics. And let's be practical and let's talk about what we really do. We help cloud customers first to understand their cloud deployment, usage, performance, cost, capacity. Then we provide them the ability to control on each one of these metrics across their organization, business units. Then we take it one step further. We let our cloud customers to perfect their cloud, to right-size their environment and optimize their price plan, putting everything together and getting greater savings as well as capacity planning for the future. We allow our customers to deploy cloud application in the most cost, performance, efficient way. We do it across cloud vendors, for private or public clouds. Let's talk about what we do. After 24 hours, when customers registered with Cloudyn, we provide cloud customers with top-down personalized analytics to any cloud service they use. It could be an EC2, database, or even storage. Then we provide them intelligent insights. We tell them exactly where their exceptions are and where the potential inefficiencies are. Then we take it to the next step. We allow them to control and to manage their environment. We look at the application consumption. We tell them where the exceptions are. We are looking for abnormal spending, and we are looking for over-provisioning and underutilization. And that's where the fun starts. We all know that visibility is a great place to start. It's a great place to start. You cannot manage and you cannot change what you cannot control. We allow our cloud customers to dynamically optimize their cloud environment. And how they do that? We first look at their usage. We're not looking at the bill. We're looking at the actual usage of the machines. And we identify for over-provisioning resources. Then we simulate optimization scenarios. And we recommend them exactly what they need to do. They can downscale according to our recommendation. They can consolidate resources. They can reallocate resources. They can clean up their storage. And then we take it to the next step. We are looking at their price. Each one of the big cloud spenders has its own prices. We look at their personalized cloud price list, and we know how to identify the inefficiencies, looking at reservations, light, medium, heavy. We know how to reallocate service from one region to another to reduce cost on the network and recommend all this price optimization. Now, what the customer does is something very simple. They look at the action list, and the recommendation, and they just implement them. They can implement part of them or all of them. There is a price tag and cost impact for each one of them. They can run their own what-if scenario. They build their own policies of how they want to optimize their cloud. And we have a forecast that allows them to know what will be the projected cost with the current configuration or with the future configuration. How the business model look like? We align ourselves to the customer's success. We believe that visibility is good, but it's a good start. We charge per on monthly cloud spending, and we later charge based on control, management, and optimization. We've launched in February 6th. Since then, increased our install base in 600%. Managing every day 230,000 servers. The average cost saving is around 41%. Fortune 500 customers and global 1,000 customers. The founders with me, Vitaly and Boris, transforming raw ideas to leading project. Thank you.
I just want to say, I mean, so this is one of the things I found interesting. I mean, you said 240,000 servers, right? All on Amazon at this point,
all
right?
On Amazon, yes.
So a fair number of, a good percentage, I guess, of the traffic going over.
Definitely.
What's that number? I mean, I think I forget the exact stat you gave me in terms of percentage of.
Well, if I turn off a server, do you still count it?
Sorry?
If I turn off a server, do you still count it?
No, we're not.
So that means like 240,000 means right now you're managing the cost of 240,000 running virtual machines.
EC2. Around
Running.
150 continuous running EC2 instances.
Yeah, okay. Not a total number. Got it.
So is it primarily targeted for a public cloud, private cloud, or hybrid cloud? What's your model?
Starting with the private, moving to the private. Sorry, starting with the public and moving to the private cloud.
So let's say me as a consumer, right?
I'm sorry?
Me as a consumer of the cloud, right? Mm-hmm. I have investment on both private and public cloud. Can this product provide me insight into both of them in a consolidated view?
Correct. We will contribute to the debate between the private and the public cloud from economics perspective.
Okay.
So we've struggled with this problem quite a bit with our own provisioning, and one of the conclusions we've come to at Netflix is that it's very difficult to make a decision whether something is over or under provisioned without looking at application level metrics.
Yep.
Because at least from the one graph that you showed, it looks like you're looking at CPU usage as kind of the primary indicator of utilization of an instance, whereas sometimes you might be optimizing for disk, sometimes you're optimizing for network, you might be optimizing for latencies. Mm-hmm. How do you go about solving this problem without having an application level view?
So for compute services, we are looking at the CPU, at the I/O, at the network. And if you have a New Relic or AppDynamics or Nagios or Zabbix installed on the machines already, we will leverage your existing investment. We are pulling this data. We have API that allows you to take the memory and any other performance indicator that you will believe important for the optimization. In the policy that you can define in Cloudyn, you can set the thresholds for these optimization criteria. So we allow you to build a safe margin of the over-provisioning.
Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge with that, if you start getting too complicated, is exactly your point. The truth is that we sit around and we use utilization like it's a single thing. When in fact, if we just look at the base, if we look at the base 3 commodities, base 3 utilities in these systems, there's memory I/O, disk I/O, well, what we call disk still, network I/O, and then there's basically bits that live in a CPU register, bits that live in a memory word, bits that live in a block, right? So they live in a CPU on memory or in disk. And what we still don't do in computers at all is we don't do any, well, we do, but it's almost like a pitch for us. But no one really does end-to-end latency measurements within a box. You do it on the network, and you sit there and say, well, the bit takes this long, but to sit there and look at every hardware, software thing within a server and do end-to-end latency metrics so that you can actually do quality of service within a box. I mean, that's what's really needed, at the end of the day is, and I'm consistently curious as a provider, one, we're not necessarily always interested in people optimizing their spend. Overspending's okay. And two, it's true. It's true by all means, because the slide you showed earlier of like losing control, losing costs, over provisioning, that's why current data centers are at 5% utilization, right? And so, I think the suggestion around that, when you look at the utilization stuff, is exactly our friend from Netflix's here's comment is really like, I write applications that use 2% CPU but push line rate 1 gig. And so that's not an underutilized image,
Is there a question, Jason?
There's no question. We're judging, so I'm actually currently judging you. It doesn't always have to be a question.
But is there
Moderate,
to that
moderate
point,
that, Derek.
I moderate. I'm going to try to turn it into a question. To that point, is there a way to account for, like you said,
No,
or
he's
we
gonna
talk
have
about
to
going
get
public
it-
to private?
He's going to have to get it from us.
Public to
or
private
someone.